Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Late Winner FPL Show. Before we move forward, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to our videos and follow us on social media handles. So today we're going to talk about, I think, not just Game Week 19, given that we have Game Week 19 and 20 right at the uh, in a 2 3 day period. I would say we thought it would be better if we talk about the differentials for the Game Week 19 and 20. So let's start with that. But before we talk about the differentials for these 2 game weeks, obviously most of you people must have read the announcement from FPL on Twitter or social media, or if you're checking through your apps, that there'll be that they have announced another chip for free hit this year, which will be available to all the teams and all the managers after game week 20. So
Yeah,
I guess people who have used the chip in the fixtures where the in the game weeks where there were less matches, I think it's going to pay them dividends hopefully in the future as well. So
yeah. But what are you thinking of like using it right now, or maybe later down the season?
I think I'll probably maybe look using it in the double game week maybe. So we have game week 22 and 23 where we'll be having, I think, four fixtures for a lot of teams right at that point. So I think it would be a great time to use a free hit at that point.
Yeah, I think
Any
that
one of
sounds
those.
like a more sensible option at the moment because again, I think there were a couple of COVID situations today as well. I think I heard Man City camp had some COVID things. I heard that. I don't know if that's true, but Antonio was definitely confirmed positive. So I don't know like if West Ham team will get affected by that or not. So those are still ongoing issues. I would still urge we've kind of like made our transfers wish list of what we need to do, but we're going to probably wait until the last minute, before we can um, go ahead and make those transfers because yeah, I mean we still don't know like maybe the Aston Villa game got postponed like literally an hour or hour and a half before the game, right? So we still
Yeah.
don't know like if that's like the way, but yeah, if we can hold off to the last minute, definitely we'll try to do that.
So yeah, I mean, let's start talking about the game week differentials which we have. The first one which we have in the list over here is, I think, 𝗕𝗏𝗧𝗏. I think looking at Everton's fixture, they play Burnley, Newcastle, Brighton, Norwich, and Aston Villa in the next five. And I think the fixtures subsequent that fixture these fixtures are also pretty favorable for Everton. So I think it's a great time to have a great time to have a differential like Gray in the team. But the problem right now with Everton is that nothing is clicking for them, and actually they're conceding a lot more goals in terms of attack. I think they're not creating a lot of chances also. So I mean that is one thing which we want to consider right now. I mean, not just look at Gray's stat over here. I mean they are pretty uh, in- uh, decent, I would say. I mean, it's he has 5 goals, 3 assists. His XG and XG is pretty high. His penalty area touches also is. I think it's a good number. I think it's a healthy number over here. But looking at Everton's fixtures, and I mean, sorry, Everton's form, I think I think people might be a little bit uh, not in favor of an Everton player. But look, also again, I mean, you can definitely keep him as a player who can sit on the bench also. So I mean, you want he's a economical buy, I would say. It's not a very expensive player to have in your team.
Yeah, definitely. Moving on, I think we have next up is Kieran Tierney. I think he's a great option. I think we already know like how Arsenal are playing in the last few weeks. He's a good option because he's good attackingly as well. I mean, we already know how good our Arsenal in the defense. So I think it's pretty evident that we get into some more Arsenal players at the back because first of all his price is 4.8, which we all need at the moment because there are At the moment, I think there are now premium options opening up where we might want to invest in them. So this is the way to. I think there's a couple of good defensive options. We already talked about, Diego Dallo and Alex Telles going to be in the Man United lineup who look good defensively at the moment. Yeah, Varane is probably going to be back, so it's going to be solidifying defenses even more. So in that aspect, yeah. But sorry, I always get distracted when I speak about United. So, but coming back to Arsenal, definitely, I think he's a good option. You can see, the penalty area touches is 23, and he's not even played a lot of games this season because most of the time was the games he was injured. You look at even the last 5 matches points, 33 points he has already had in the last 5 matches, which is a good showing, I must say. And I think Arsenal have not really kept a clean sheet. I think away from home, I think they have, but it's like usually they don't. But most of the games that are at home, they usually keep a clean sheet. Their ownership is again like it's very low. I know, like, we're talking about differentials anyways, but our criteria is less than 10%, and he's a good player to get into for a side who's actually maintaining a lot of clean sheets and who's actually providing a lot of attacking options as well on the other side. And then the other option that we had for Arsenal was Martinelli. We all know that he's gotten into this good form in the last few weeks. You can already see, like, he's already accumulated 36 points in the last 5 matches. The XG was actually something that I was very surprised by. So it's 3.39, and he created 16 chances, and goal attempts as well is also 16. He's had 4 goals and 3 assists already. He doesn't play that much in the games, and I guess he can be a good replacement for Gallagher, or even Rafinha, who if people are looking to replace Rafinha as well, he's a good replacement, and he's cheaper than both of those. I think Rafinha will, if you sell Rafinha, you'll at least have 1.2 million, 1.3 million in your bank. With Gallagher, I think you will have somewhere around point 0.7 or something. Yeah, point 0.7 or point 0.6 or something like that in your bank. So which is a good enough money to invest, on the other side, on the other side of the pitch. I did talk about the fixtures for Arsenal. It looks pretty good for me. I feel like Norwich is obviously a good option in the next game. They have Wolves as well, who doesn't, obviously, who don't really go and put 4 or 5 goals past any opposition. So which is it's a good option to have. And then we have City and Tottenham. Those are two tricky games, I must say. But again, the way Arsenal have been playing, I would really like to see how they perform. And I think they'll be in a much better shape compared to the previous games that they've had in the earlier of the season, where they got really rolled past against City. Definitely not Tottenham, but Tottenham will provide a much tougher test this time to Arsenal. So I think these are two good options, Tierney and Martinelli from Arsenal. I think depending upon how much money you have in your bank and what you're trying to do with the money, I think definitely both of them are good picks for the next couple of weeks at least.
Yeah, moving forward, I think we have Kevin De Bruyne over here from Manchester City. Looking at the fixtures, I think they play Leicester, which is going to be a little bit tricky. I think Leicester has always put up a great fight against City in the past few years. And Vardy usually plays his best games. So and looking at the way he played today in the EFL match, I think he scored a couple of goals against Liverpool. So I am pretty sure that he is hungry for a few more goals against City as well now. But looking at the last 2 games itself, where KDB has started, I think he played incredibly well, I would say. In his look at the number of chances he's created. It's I think it's pretty phenomenal for a guy who's just played like less than 7 or 8 games this season. So I think. I think 7-8 is also pretty generous. I would say. I think it's even less. I think it's fewer than that as well. So, but yeah, his XG and XA is pretty high. Surprisingly, like KDB is known for his assists, but he's not provided any so far. But I think it's just a matter of time. It's he's definitely he's definitely getting into great form right now, and you might want to consider him if you're thinking about replacing him with Salah. I'm sure that it sounds like very funny to everyone's ears right now. Me suggesting also you replacing KDB with Salah, but I think Salah has done enough, and I think he might also. I mean. Obviously not this game week. I mean, Liverpool play against Leeds, so I'm expecting Salah to score a few more goals in this game week at least. Uh, but I think, in generally speaking, I think KDB could definitely give a lot of competition to Salah in the upcoming game weeks. So yeah, the next player we have over here is 𝗕𝗃𝗃𝗍. I think looking at Wolves and their performances throughout the season. I mean, I think, like Rishabh and I, we were talking about this right before we were doing the podcast also and discussing about the differential playlist. We saw that Wolves actually has either lost the game 1-0 or they've won the game 1-0. So it's that kind of a season for Wolves this year. And that's why they have been able to produce so many clean sheets this year. And I think, I mean, they have 7 clean sheets in the 18 game weeks they've played so far. So I think that's a decent number for a team like Wolves, who is a solid mid-table team. So I think 7 clean sheets so far, I think, is a pretty great number for them. And I think, looking at the fixtures also, they have 3 fixtures in favor for them. And I think it's not going to be easy for Arsenal or United to actually break their defense, because Wolves has been playing pretty well. I mean, teams like City and Liverpool also struggled. Obviously, Chelsea did struggle. Chelsea couldn't even break the deadlock in those games. So, I mean, the top 3 teams are struggling to score against Wolves. So, obviously, the defense lineup looks pretty solid. The goalkeeper Shah is also performing really well right now. So, I mean, he's another differential player you might want to consider also in terms of. Um, Goalkeepers right now. I know a lot of people have been banking on Ramsdale, Goita, and Sanchez. I think it might be time for everyone to reconsider Sanchez as an option, because Brighton do concede goals, even though they'll not lose those games. But ultimately, for us FPL managers, I guess we do care about, all we can care about is a clean sheet from the goalkeepers. So I think you might want to consider Salah also as an option in the upcoming game weeks.
Yeah, I think, and you mentioned about, like, the fixtures. I just wanted to point that out as well. The last 5 matches, points 21, and they've already and they've played the likes of City, Liverpool, and Chelsea. All 3 of them, in those matches. Obviously, one of them was a 0-0 draw, and then the other 2 ones obviously were a,
1-0 loss.
one was a late winner and one was a controversial decision that was then went against them. So I guess, yeah, it's a very good option for them. I think in the
Yeah.
last 6 weeks, if you see, game week 12 onwards, that Royal already
Yeah,
mentioned, they've already
I
left
can,
their
I can
defenses.
personally, yeah, I can personally vouch for Cody, because I think he has been, he has been keeping me afloat a lot in the last few game weeks
Yeah,
with his clean sheets for
yeah.
me in
I think,
my
no,
team.
definitely.
I was surprised.
I think Wolves defense is a good one. I mean, we can
Yeah,
I think we can take a look at their wing backs as well. I think we know, for this differential list, we just want to make sure that, who's the most certain player who's going to be starting at, because we don't want to be guessing at this moment of time. First of all, it's
yeah,
all the festive fixtures and the COVID situation that's happening. So we just wanted to make sure that the players that are in the differential list are most certainly going to be, the players who are going to be starting in the next few weeks, the next, the busy fixture period. But yeah. The next one is Simicas. Obviously, I think, our differential criteria definitely does not fall into this, but we just wanted to make sure that you guys knew about him. He's obviously fallen down to 3.7. I think I was just looking at, the price and thinking about, like, why not just have him as a fifth defender. He's obviously going to play some games. Klopp has already played him, 4 games already. He's going to play in. He was anyways going to play some part in this festive fixture period. I don't believe that Robertson was going to start every other game. And Klopp already mentioned that, he's going to play on Sunday, and then his team again plays on Tuesday. I think there was bound to have some rotation. Um, I think I mentioned this at the start of this series when we started this FPL shows. That I'd be very I'm sorry, I am honestly speaking that Simikas, I feel like he's going to play at least 10 games. 10 games may be a lot, but maybe 7 to 8 games that he's going to play in the league. He's already played 4, 5 and 6 are definitely incoming because Robertson obviously got injured. Red carded. But yeah, don't I mean we can't really talk anything about his in terms of statistics because he's not played since a long time in the league. Um, but he's definitely a really good option. He definitely plays in the most of the league cups and the Carabao Cups that Liverpool play in. He also started in the Champions League game, if I'm not wrong, against AC Milan, and then they were again used again really 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 good. The fixtures in the next 2 games exactly is what we care about right now because those are the only 2 games that he's going to play on. Leeds and Leicester, great potential for good returns in the attacking side. Defensively, we know pretty much that Leeds is not going to score. I don't think Leeds is probably going to score against Liverpool at home. Leicester is another is another topic. Maybe they can't score. Uh, Today was obviously an exception. They were playing a weak side, but I think by that time Van Dijk should be back, and I don't see Leicester actually creating a lot of trouble for them. I think they will have a lot of trouble holding off Salah, Mane, and Jota, who look like in sublime form. I think Jota is going to have a season of his life.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's the player list which we have. I think these are the six
Yeah.
six differentials which we have lined up for you guys. Do let us know in the comment section if you have any other players which you think might be great picks for game week 19 and 20. Thank you guys for joining in. Do remember to like, share, and subscribe to our videos. Like I said yesterday, keep remembering that the road to 300 is still going on. So keep hitting that subscribe button and sharing it with all your friends who are interested in learning more about FPL content. Um, Thank you guys for joining in, and
Yeah.
see you guys tomorrow for the team reveal and the captaincy picks.